Greetings, salutations, what's good everybody? It's day 7 of the YouTube journey. In today's video I wanted to go over income plans for 2025 and honestly my income plans moving forward. Now I know a lot of people will always tell you this, and I even was saying this beforehand, you should never really be telling people your goals, right? Because at the end of the day a lot of people really don't have your best interest. However, with this particular journey channel, especially because I figured that if you're doing channels like this, you're pretty much doing it for yourself, right? These channels and the way I started to think about this content I want to do is in manifesting what I want to see for myself. It's all about how I put myself into the mind frame that, yeah, everything I'm about to talk about today is what I want to achieve and what I want to accomplish. So what a lot of people are about to see looks absolutely ridiculous, right? But a lot of these things are ridiculous until they're actually done, right? So if I say that my goal is to create 13 YouTube channels in the near future, or maybe even by the end of this year, yeah, my goal is to create like 13 YouTube channels, but we're gonna start off with 10 because currently that's how many YouTube channels I have right now. Of these 10 YouTube channels, and one of the main income sources for YouTubers is Google AdSense, right? And if I have 3 monetized channels as of this moment out of 9, I put 9 because the 10th channel isn't really active yet. I haven't posted any content on it. That's going to be changing pretty soon, but right now I have 3 monetized YouTube channels, which is my main anime channel, which I keep showing you guys. If you've seen any of my previous videos, my main YouTube channel has 190,000 subscribers. I've showed it beforehand. Currently got a warning because, yeah, your boy was being a dumbass, and this channel is only making like $62 because I was so inactive on it, and I'm trying to change that around. And trust me, by the end of this year, this channel will be well past 200,000 subscribers. Like, that's one thing that's going to be blown past, and it will be generating a lot more money as I continue to work within the anime niche. But as this being currently my biggest channel, I still have 8 other channels that I've so far been uploading a lot of content on. So as I get back to talking about, that was my main channel, Card. I have another channel, the Card OTK channel, that has like 60,000 plus subscribers. That's a TV based one. The Card and OTK music channel, which was recently monetized last month after a new surge of people interested in that content. 7 channels that aren't monetized. I have my gaming channel, Card Tensei, my Yap channel, which is basically about true crimes and other things going on in social media. That channel will have a lot of posts because it's trend jacking. A Card Daily, which is the channel that we're talking from right now. I have the Card and OTK anime channel, which I decided to just basically make a branch of the Card and OTK channel. Just only upload anime on that particular channel. Shonen Magica, which is my faceless brand, which I mentioned beforehand, which also deals with anime. Drama Tensei deals with Asian dramas, and Operation Golf is like my finance specific channel, which I'll be going over more finances. Technically this video could have came out on that particular channel. However, right now this video is just to show you guys what I have planned for the YouTube journey. So I'll do a separate video on income for that channel much later on. Then of that right now, so basically of the 10 channels I currently have, about 2 of them are faceless, but I plan to expand, like I said, to 13 with 2 more faceless channels and 2 niches I'll disclose at another date, and a card game channel because card games have literally been my life. So I'm in 3 niches. Of the niches I'm in 3 of them are in anime. One of them is in the comic book niche with TV shows and movies. One is in the Asian drama niche, especially with K-dramas. One is in the music niche. One is in the finance niche. I guess you could say that this particular channel can also fit into the finance niche, depending on which way you cut it. The Card Yap channel is in the trend jacking / true crimes niche, and the this channel, particularly a Card Daily, is with the YouTube / business growth niche, especially because we're doing the building blocks each and every day. And finally, the gaming niche with my Card Tensei channel. Finance and YouTube business growth niches have the highest CPM RPM. I think if you guys are brand new to YouTube, you should know this, that the finance and YouTube business growth niche, tech niches, those pay out the most when it comes to the CPM RPM. Those also have, mainly because the buying value, that the audience has. Technically the audience for these type of content is going to be much older. Sometimes you're gonna get people within the 18 to 20, what is it, the 18 to 25 range, I believe it is on YouTube, or 24, and then the 24 to 35 ranges that are like the age groups. But there are even people who have even more money than that, or should I say who are even older than that have more money, and those are the type of people that the sponsorships try to target. And the other thing about financial and the YouTube business growth stuff is that they have the most amount of evergreen content that you can possibly have. So that means you can make one video and it could pretty much stand the test of time, you know, for years and years upon years. So if you're making enough evergreen content, chances are you could be making money forever, and that's what the passive income allows you to do when you have, like, you know, your finance slash YouTube slash business growth based niches. So moving on, the other niche that I'm in, which I feel like is the next best one, is the gaming niche. Very hard to break into because everyone and their mother wants to become a gamer, but it does have the next, I believe, the next best niche for sponsors due to the ability to have paid, you know, for items, as well as being able to play for video games. So I mean, you can be paid for headphones, keyboards, mouse. You know, we're talking about being sponsored to play gotcha games and whatnot. The bag is out there, folks. The bag is out there. You got to put the work in. You might have to do some controversial stuff if you're in the gotcha game community, because the only thing about that community right now, it's all about drama. We love drama out here. It does feed a lot of food, or should I say, it does feed a lot of people, especially because if you just love drama, then, you know, there's always gonna be people there to talk about it. But if you're on the other side of, like, you know what, you're pretty decent at the game, or you're just a chill person, you know, there's gonna be a lot of people who are going to vibe with you, and sponsors especially are going to be looking out for you because they feel that, you know, you align with their goals, and you can get their, and they're gonna get their products into your hands, and maybe you'll be able to make a lot of money. Disguised Toast, one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, has talked at length about how much he's made through sponsorships, and then other YouTubers have also talked about how much they made through sponsorships. So it's not unheard of to get like a $10,000 sponsorship deal for, you know, promoting a game. Hopefully it's a game that you like, or hopefully, you know, when they ask you to play a game, you know, it'll be a game that you like. So the sponsorship niche, I mean the gaming niche for sponsorships, it's always been, you know, pretty sought after. Still a hard market to crack into. After that, TV shows, movies, anime, Asian dramas fall into like the next category for what I believe more so with affiliate partnerships, more so than really sponsorships, because the main thing is that we're using content that doesn't belong to us. That's the biggest struggle when it comes to this type of content. It's also the most riskiest business wise due to copyrights. Like at one point in time, your channel could be just completely gone, right? And everything just collapses. So a lot of people don't know this. When you have multiple YouTube channels, please do not put them all under the same Google email. Please do not do that, because you will lose all your channels all at one go. If one of your channels has 3 copyright strikes on it because on a whim the fair use laws, you know, just change, you're gone. You're donezo, bro. It's over for you. So please just take the time to make multiple different email accounts. Utilize, you know, you can have one email that can just be like your managing email for all the accounts and whatnot, and just, like, you know, double, you know, verify them and protect those accounts at all costs. Yeah, man, like, you know, this is the riskiest one. However, it's risk, it has high risk, high reward, or I should say medium risk, high reward, especially the larger you become. Well, the larger you become, of course, it does open you up to you know, being looked at a lot more. However, there's a lot of YouTubers in the current field, like in the anime field. You have your boy Roshi, you have Nicholas Light TV, who are some of the biggest anime reaction channels and just reaction channels in general and whatnot. And, you know, a lot of these channels are making bank, especially through like their Patreon, right? And then in the I mean the TV show slash movie niche, you have a lot of other YouTubers who essentially don't use as much of the actual TV show or movie that they're watching, but enough so that it can still get that true reaction, and then they'll just post it to like their Patreon, where you can watch the unedited version. I'll get to Patreon in a little bit, but, you know, in terms of sponsorships, sometimes sponsors will want to put their merchandise in front of that audience, especially if it's a reaction video. I don't know what the exact, you know, translation numbers are going to be for that, because I think they're always going to be much higher when it comes to the other ones I just talked about, like the finance and then the YouTube growth ones. But I have seen that it has been pretty profitable for those particular niches. Moving on to the next niche is trendjacking and true crimes. To me, that has the next best sponsors after like the TV show, anime, Asian drama niches. But the other thing is that audiences are less likely to buy or support the products, because when you get to the trendjacking slash true crimes, you're going to be hit with a lot of sellout. You know, you're going to be hit with a lot of sellout, more so than the TV and movie slash anime and Asian dramas and all that, and all those type of niches and whatnot. Like, because you're going to be getting the an audience that's only really interested in what you're talking about, what topics you're talking about, and the opinions you're trying to do. So it's kind of like maybe suboptimal to be pushing stuff in front of them or to having sponsor segments, especially if you're only really talking about the news. But I consider this channel, especially the Yaps channel, to be a channel where essentially if you are on Twitter, if you're chronically online, maybe you should start, you know, whether you do it faceless or you use your face as a personal brand, start taking those takes that you have online and start putting videos behind it. Maybe you could be a sitting, you know, a talking head video just like this, and all you're going to be doing is just saying what you're saying on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You know, you're going to be doing it in a video, and you do it enough times a day, maybe you start to gain traction, right? You know, you know, so a lot of people should know that you got 3 notifications with YouTube. That means you got 3 chances for your subscriber to see your video. Plus, if you're continuing to ride trends every single day, higher chance of you actually trying to break the algorithm, right? You know, we're talking about lottery tickets out here. So if you keep talking into, you know, into the YouTube sphere, your YouTube is trying to find your audience. Your audience will eventually, YouTube will eventually find the audience for you. You know, but you got to be topic it, and you got to choose your, you got to be topic driven, and you got to make sure that, you know, people vibe with you, right? At the end of the day, when it comes to like a lot of these trending topics, your personality should be able to suit it. So I believe that those people who have personal brands and are on camera are more susceptible to get sponsorships. It's much easier, but I totally understand those people who are faceless that want to take this route as well. There's a couple other YouTubers who do this like every single day. You have your Asmongold, your Moist Criticals, aka Penguin Zeros, on YouTube that talk about this. I think Pyrocynical also does this type of content as well. There's a couple, like I said, there's other faceless ones as well. So you can get away with doing something like this and still get sponsorships every now and then. After that, the music niche. Music niche, honestly, to me is is the lowest on the tier in terms of, you know, making money on YouTube to a point, right? Mainly because the music niche, you don't get any money at all for your reaction videos. So I've been doing reaction videos to music for like 14 years now, 10 years, whatever it is. And you know, there was at one point you were able to make money off of those videos. Now that's not the case anymore. They all get hit with copyrights immediately. The best thing about music channels is the community, to me, for the most part, right? I think the community is like the most important part about a music channel, especially when you're making videos about music from artists that you typically already like, and then you could get like you're just basically reaffirming for the commenter that yeah, you really do like this artist, and you're going to see more positive comments about the artist than you are going to see negative. When you're trying out new artists, a lot of people are so enthusiastic about you coming to check out an artist that they truly love, and you're going to get a lot of people's opinions about, you know, what you should check out first or what you should check out next for the artist. And that's what I mean about the community. You know, there's really no political agendas or anything like that in the music field compared to what can be happening in the trend jacking field, especially if you're going to try to ride political content. But in the music niche, I feel like it's one of those things that's best to have. If you vibe with music and you just love talking about music, people can feel that energy from you too. And I love music to death. Literally, I play the piano as well. I played in, you know, I've done concert piano, and then my just general music knowledge vibes well with my friend Kayla, aka OTEK, and that's why music channel, you know, pretty much does well. 2 different types of people, 2 different types of interests with music, and we just love sharing music with each other. So when we have our vibe check sessions, you know, it's just great, good vibes all over. But a lot of people will be like, well, how can you actually make money through you know, music YouTube channels? Patreon, and we'll be getting to that pretty soon. After that, there's 3 more YouTube channels that I mentioned as well in the terms of the niches. Card games, basically between trading card games and poker. Historically, I have been in card games all my life, and it's my first ever YouTube channel was a Yu-Gi-Oh based card game channel, and I've tried to do other card game channels overall. It's a really hard niche to break into because the audiences are so spread. It's super niche. But one card game I have been thinking of getting into more so is poker, and then eventually starting to play, you know, in those higher stakes poker challenges and stuff like that. But you need bank, you need money. You need money in order to do that with poker. Listen, it's gambling. It is gambling at the end of the day. And even with you know, the card games, the one things you love about it is like opening boxes and whatnot. Like I have boxes all over my place. I know I haven't showed them on camera before, but I'm talking about we have like decks of cards and whatnot, whether they're playing cards. Like, I'm not sure if I have shown you guys this before, but like whether they're playing cards that I ordered through Kickstarter, or they're like Lorcana, where we got Mufasa, rest in peace and whatnot. Like, I play so many different card games, so eventually I want to do a card game channel, and that might be like my pseudo vlog channel, because I want to be traveling like every week to play different card games and whatnot. So, but that's a channel for much down the line. And then there's 2 more faceless channels that I do want to launch. I'm gonna keep those secret, and I'm gonna use that as a social experiment, so that we can visit those channels in the near future. But this all encompasses Google AdSense for the most part, right? All this encompasses Google AdSense with YouTube. So having 10 YouTube channels at the end of 2025 all monetized is my personal goal, and I believe I'm going to hit that goal. So yeah, we'll be visiting that really soon. Next up is TikTok. I know I spent a lot on YouTube because that is my 80/20. So it's like I'm spending 80% of my entire like year hyper focused on YouTube, because to me that is the biggest ecosystem to bring success to everything else as well. A lot of the content I'm making on YouTube will be reposted to the other things like TikTok, right? Assuming TikTok doesn't get banned, of course, right? I want to join the Creator Fund. Currently I'm like around maybe 1,500 followers away from being in the TikTok Creator Fund, hitting that 10,000 followers that's needed. And that's just on one TikTok channel. I plan to make more, especially for my faceless brand. So that's 2 channels, or technically 4 in the future. But right now, Shonen Magica and Drama Tensei are going to be channels that I plan to upload TikTok content for, assuming it doesn't get banned. I got to keep saying assuming it doesn't get banned. And then utilizing the TikTok shop for Shonen Magica, as well as just mainly the Creator Fund for Drama Tensei. The other 2 channels that I keep mentioning about being faceless channels, the reason why they're going to be my experiment channels, because those are going to be definitely 2 channels that I plan to sell in the future, or just as business wise, right? In terms of like those channels have exit strategies as a faceless brand at the end of the day. That's why I'm not even like publicizing those channels that I want to make yet or anything like that. So TikTok, yes, it's mainly about posting, right? And once you post on YouTube, you should know that you should always post on YouTube first and then TikTok second, because if you do it the other way around, you can get hit with reused content on your own content. It's happened to me, and I'm telling you not to do it. Post on YouTube first, then you post over to TikTok. Maybe you could take a week in between posts, but you should be working on batching your content so that you don't have to worry about any type of drop off for that. Next up, we're going to talk about Instagram. Short and sweet, sponsored reels, sponsored posts, using it with the faceless channels. I'm going to keep my own personal account away from the content that I'm doing, because it's like, I've tried this multiple times. So I'm going to have my personal Instagram. I mean, it's going to be public, but I'm going to keep it away from everything content related based. Who knows? I might go in the cheesy route of like motivational like quotes and whatnot. You know what? Nah, let me not do that. But I'll figure out what I'm gonna do with my own public personal Instagram. But for the other ones that meant for business, like Shonen Magica, yeah, that's gonna be essentially what I'm doing on TikTok, essentially what I'm already doing on YouTube, and I'm just going to continue to create content on that in order to start to get sponsored posts eventually, and just keep building that, especially because I have TikTok shop, and I'm going to have merchandise for Shonen Magica. The Drama Tensei channel, that's also just going to be for sponsored posts and sponsored reels. So that's pretty much with Instagram. They took away the Creator Fund for that, to my knowledge. I was in it, and then they took it away, and now it's yeah. So Instagram, yeah, that's about it for you. Twitch, this is something I do want to get back into. Live streaming is just that you don't grow while you're live streaming. Live streaming does take a lot of time. I am currently a Twitch affiliate, and I can work towards consistent revenue. And my goal for Twitch is to eventually start using the content that I'm recording live and let that be, I guess you say, the echo chamber, so that my live content that I do on Twitch I can then chop that up and funnel it over to all the other channels itself. My reaction content for anime, that's something that you can do on Twitch, but you gotta have to delete the streams directly right afterwards. And then there's also live DMCA, so you got a lot of those stuff to worry about. For me, more so with Twitch, I'm thinking about using it for my yapping content and my gaming content primarily, because that is the content that can stay up on Twitch, and that is the content that I can be consistent with, especially when I'm looking for new things to upload for that day or for the next day. And I can create so much content while I am live. but the main content will be, you know, the stuff that I can yap about, whether what's going on in the news, what's currently going on trending, what other reaction content I could check out, you know, what's going on in the gaming world that I can upload, right? If there's an anime, then I know I have to make that a separate live stream, or I just pre-record it and, you know, and then to throw up later on for a Patreon, which we're going to get into next. But the main money you can make from Twitch, it's all through, you know, subs, ads, and the occasional bits and donations, right? Those are 4 different types of revenue you can make while you're streaming on Twitch. The best thing might just be multi-streaming, where you can stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time. But I have so many different YouTube channels, I'm not sure which YouTube channel would have fit on for the type of content I'm doing, but Twitch itself, I can just stream all of that. You know, I take a block to do, you know, the yap stuff, and then you just, you know, you break down your hours for the content that you're trying to do. Like in one day session for like 5 hours, I can get through music, gaming, and reaction content for, you know, all the other YouTube channels, especially the yap channels. And you know, that's the power of Twitch, the power of live streaming. And Twitch is already built into the ecosystem. YouTube is a VOD first channel, or VOD first platform, so you know, YouTube streaming isn't as good for a lot of people as Twitch streaming is. But once again, you don't grow while you are on Twitch, and I would have to use all of my Twitch channels in order to funnel those viewers over, I mean all of my YouTube channels in order to funnel all of those viewers over to Twitch. So that, yeah, that's a whole nother discussion for another video for another day. Patreon is up. I'm going to have 3 Patreon accounts for the year. The TV show and anime Patreon, which I've talked about beforehand. You know, this is the power of having, you know, 3 different channels dedicated to this. You know, even though I have like 3 channels in the anime niche and whatnot, and some of my stuff is still reaction based, and I have, you know, technically, you know, multiple channels for this. All those channels can then funnel into one Patreon, right? So you get all of that funneling into one Patreon on the TV shows / anime niche. On the music side, this is where I believe a lot of people can make their most amount of money from when it comes to music reactions, whether you're doing reactions based on requests, reactions based on what you like, and you want to just do extra content on top of it. One of my favorite current gen YouTube reactors in the K-pop space, it's actually a duo. They're called Kes and Han. They have a Patreon. And I've been following their growth since they were around, I want to say like 20,000 subscribers. And this was like in 2022 or towards the tail end of 2023. And they grew exponentially last year. And just to show you their like what's on their Patreon, they got 13,000, almost 1,400 members, right? And with that, they have, you know, between like paid members is around 3,000 paid members. So you could just do the quick math, no matter which tier you know, the subscribers in, especially if they're in the $10 tier, but that could be anywhere between $30,000 a month that they're making off of, you know, K-pop reactions. And you know, if you are thinking about getting into the music field, there's other people who are doing music reactions, taking requests, and that's why I said that one is really community based, especially when you have people that really want to hear your opinions on different songs and whatnot. So that is one way to monetize, you know, music reactions. And then another way could have been just working with the artist directly, and that way it's much harder, but the bigger you become as a, I guess you say, as a YouTuber, a content creator in that field, the easier it does become to work with artists. Case in point, me, when I was on my K-pop channel back in the years of 2014 to 2017, got invited to South Korea, met a lot of different K-pop idols, worked with a lot of different K-pop idols. I was able to host the Drama Fever Awards, gave Park Shin-hye, one of the most famous actresses in all of South Korea, her award. Like, I got into the whole field of K-dramas and K-pop because of her. And so being able to meet like one of my favorite actresses in this field, the one that opened my world to K-pop, and being able to present her an award, you know, was just an all-time moment of my entire life, right? So it is possible, and this is just in early days of YouTube. What is YouTube looking like now? I mean, it's crazy, the possibilities that can happen. But in terms of making money, as once again, Patreon, music reactions. Then I have web novels here, and web novels is because I see, you know, everyone should have an exit plan for YouTube. Am I going to be doing YouTube forever? No, I'm not gonna have as many channels and say when I decide to finally retire as I am currently working on right now, right? Because at the end of the day, even though, or should I say, I won't be putting out as much content when I'm retired. You know, I will be focusing on writing books. So I'm getting to the next stage of my personal life about what I truly want to focus on. Right now, it's that 80-20, and 80% is literally all about YouTube. Soon it's only going to be about web novels and creating stuff, right? And that's where I'm trying to like transition towards web novels. And that's another Patreon that I want to work on. Web novels, of course, creating fantasy worlds. Like, I love anime, I love these you know, K dramas, I love watching TV shows. I want to do it myself. You know, I want to you know, make my own books. I want to have them, you know, adapt into scripts. I eventually want to have like my own anime. I want to see my own TV shows and stuff like that in the future, especially when I'm getting towards that point of like retirement and whatnot. Even if I was like, and even in my retirement, I would still be writing. The difference is now I have, you know, this generated income that could keep coming in every single month. And I want to show you guys the power of a content creator who just works on web novels. You might be like, well, how much can a web novelist actually make? A card, Michael, whatever you want to call yourself. Well, we have Zogarth, right, who's creating web novels called The Primal Hunter, and he's earning right now $70,000 a month, writing I think about like 12 chapters a month or so. And the majority of the people are in this $10 tier, right? He has about 8,600 paid members, you know, of the 16,000. The majority of them are in that $10 tier. That's how you're getting to that number. Like, obviously it's not $86,000, right? Because you a patron has to take their fees. There's some people who are in the regular $5 tiers and whatnot, but the fact that 90% of these people are in the $10 tier should let you know about the power of having a really great story. Even some people who have mid stories are still making, you know, great income from having a web novel. Zogarth also, this is just not, that's not even where his main income source comes from. Still, making $70,000 is a lot of money than people make in a year, right? It's a lot more than I'm making currently right now, right? And the most money for him doesn't even come from Patreon. It comes from stuff like Amazon Prime, which we'll get into not Amazon Prime, but Amazon, which we'll get into it in a little bit. So yeah, web novels, very profitable, especially when you're passionate about it. And that's one of my goals to transition into for this year. Sponsorships is the I think everyone should know this by now. Sponsorships and affiliates are some of the best ways to become monetized as a content creator, you know, especially because I have 10 different channels that I'm planning to upload content on. There's different sponsors that I can start doing package deals for. I could be like, well, I can give you, I can take on the sponsorship, but you know what, I can upsell you on putting this same sponsored ad on another channel of mine as well. You know, what if you give me a headphone? Well, I think the people on my music channel would love this. I think the people who are gamers would love this. I think the people who are watching TV shows in the movie channel would love this. I think the people on my other anime channel would love this. I even think my main channel would love this. So I can negotiate a better deal for sponsorships because it's all about visibility at the end of the day, right? I'm creating this digital real estate on the internet, utilizing my name, a card, right? And I'm out posting, you know, en masse a lot of other people, and I'm in multiple different genres and multiple different niches as a personal brand, right? So now I can start to upsell, you know, on sponsorships. I can start to mass upsell when it comes to affiliates, because then I can smartly put affiliate links through all those different channels. Of course, they're not all going to have the same amount of viewership, right? And of course, a lot of them are not going to have the same amount of content, but it's just by theory, by growing incrementally. A lot of people will be like, bro, you're stretching yourself too thin, right? And I can get it, especially if you're not as delusional as I am when it comes to YouTube. But there's a lot of people out there that you never even heard of that have like 50 faceless channels out there, and they're the people who have been, you know, like monopolizing this space from the get-go, right? That you have never heard of, right? Because they're just keeping the game to themselves at the end of the day. And they're just taking up all these sponsorships and they're just, you know, layering them per channel, right? So I'm just saying it in public. I'm just saying it in the open. Yeah, that this is a way that you can do it, but you have to be grinding. Like, you gotta be like, you gotta think about this smartly. You gotta, of course, not try to burn yourself out, right? And I've been at this for like 12 years. I have been through the roller coaster, the ups and downs, having a channel deleted or nearly deleted multiple times in the past. I've been through it all. The thing I didn't really have at the end of the day was conviction. And it took me 11 years, 12 years to finally get that conviction and to challenge myself on consistency. So that's why we're here today. Merchandise, which we're going to get into. I know this video is way longer winded than it need to be, but merchandise is next up. I'm gonna keep this one short and simple. You see what I'm wearing in my video right now? You see what I'm wearing? What I wear in most of my videos on my main channel? This says Shonen Magica. Yeah, it's my own merch, right? And eventually that's the merch that I'm going to be pushing on my Faceless channel. It's going to be anime inspired, especially with Shonen Magica. I want to officially get official licensed anime merchandise as well to combo with Shonen Magica. I can launch a web novel or a little web comic based around Shonen Magica, to do even more merchandise, because it becomes a lightning rod with a good model. I have those Faceless channels I've been talking about outside of the anime and K-drama one that can, basically start selling stuff on that too. And I'm developing a card game. Like, I'm doing it all, folks, or trying to do it all, right? A lot of people keep telling you about, hey, you're an entrepreneur and, I got multiple of these businesses and you should just focus on just one. Yeah, trust me, those people are right. But I didn't get to this point by, like just trying to focus on in separate multiple different things, wearing too many different hats and whatnot, because everything has been coming along as it seems. It might be an hour spent here, an hour spent there, but I decided that some things need to take a backseat in order for me to go full forward with YouTube. So the card game stuff, yeah, it's on the back burner, but it's something that I've been working on. I have it to the side, ready to go when it's ready, right? Moving on to Spotify and Apple Music. This one is short and sweet as well. Podcast music. If you talk like I do at nauseum or at length, and you just talk about the things you like, make a podcast, right? Put it on Apple Music, put it on Spotify. Probably get some ads, probably get a sponsorship to read on your podcast. I don't know, maybe have a Twitch account where you go live for an hour or two for your podcast, right? Maybe you're into music. I released a song 2 years ago based on the card game I was trying to develop, and I have always been, in the music field itself, creating music. Hey, I'm thinking about, what if I want to start like a lo-fi channel? I love lo-fi music. I can go to Fiverr, hire somebody from Fiverr to make some lo-fi music and, upload that to Spotify and Apple Music and, just try to market that. There's multiple ways to make money, folks. And that's one of them that I'm going to look at within, like, it's 12 months in a year. It's like we have like less than 365 days in this year. Like, it's possible, right? Amazon KDP, I want to talk about this. That's the Kindle Direct Publishing, and also Amazon Unlimited. 3 ways to make money with Amazon when you're doing web novels. It's the monthly subscription fee, and you get paid based on the number of pages that the number of pages that your viewers read. That's one way. Another way is through the public, is through publishing physical copies and hardcovers. And the last way is through Audible, something that a lot of people just like to listen into the books that they basically they just like to listen to books instead of reading them, right? That's just our digital age. So that's 3 different ways to make money through, say, your web novels that you publish. For me, that's going to be the 3 ways I can also do it. So I have Patreon, and then I have the website that I uploaded on as well. Like, even if I choose to do my own website, but I'm going to use something like Royal Road, maybe not web novel, or even Wattpad, in order to like publish those web novels, and then let the audience come over to Patreon for early access for chapters. And then after that, you then take the chapters down on Patreon and those other websites, put them on to Amazon where people can read them, because Amazon is like your bigger audience. Because a lot of people, you're like, well, you're not thinking about the people that were reading your stuff from the very, very beginning, or the people who were reading my stuff from the very, very beginning have already read it. So if we're on like chapter 250, right? Those people have already read, 250 chapters. You're thinking about you need to start thinking about the newer audiences and the people who have not been exposed to your material, because the people who are on chapter 250, they want to know what chapter 400 is looking like. So you need to start thinking about that instead, right? But another thing that we will be talking about at length through this YouTube journey, through this, building up this businesses and building up the income on this channel, especially when you go over to Operation Golf channel, which I know I am plugging, but that will be on the financial channel in the future. As we're rounding out the rest of this video here, we have investing. This one is simple. You have your stocks, you have your cryptocurrency, you have dividends, and I know nothing, or I should say I know like 10% or less when it comes to stocks, crypto, dividends, and truly investing in real estate. Listen, we've been poor for the majority of our life, right? And we are slowly been building up. Operation Golf, which I keep talking about, is Operation Get Out the Hood. And that's the mentality that I want people to do, right? I want you to raise yourself out of your financial burdens and your financial statuses, right? That you got to stabilize yourself so you can stay out of the hood, stay away from your financial burdens and statuses. And then phase 3 of our Operation Golf is help other people also get out their financial burden, aka get out the hood, essentially, right? So I'm going to be using my Operation Golf channel to talk about these things because I'm going to be learning it as well. There's a lot of things I don't know about credit, and if you actually credit score is like a scam anyway, but there's a lot of those things that I don't know that I'm going to be using that channel to learn about. Like I can be, of course I could read this by myself, but hey, I should react to it and try to apply it, see if it actually works. And if it does work, well, hey, it worked for me and I could show the results for it, right? So that's what I'm talking about with investing. But of course, I'm going to get more into that as the year goes on. Licensing, this one deals more so with creating original and original IP. I'm making spelling errors out here. Creating an original IP or original works and license them out. And license them out the IP, right? That one pretty simple. Basically the works that I create, license them out. I said I'm doing music, license out the music to other people, license out the artwork or the web novel to other people. This guy I put up here, Zogarth, he has a webtoon that he licensed out. Basically his web novel was licensed out to become a webtoon. I won't be surprised if there's a TV show in the near future coming for him, but the power of licensing, you should know, right? Especially if we're talking about licensing goods out here, right? And last but not least, digital products. I think this one, it fits more so this channel. I think when it comes to productivity, when it comes to organizing, when it comes to like targeting sponsorships, when it comes to posting, there's multiple different ways that you can have a digital product. And that's just dealing with productivity in YouTube. There's other things that I could possibly target for digital products as well, whether it's like templates. I could come up with templates. I can have a graphic designer do templates for people's streams, for people's YouTube channels. There's multiple different ways to monetize with a digital product. Sometimes digital products are going to be much better than physical products and physical merch at the end of the day, but I'm not going to be selling something that I'm not 100% confident in. That's why I just have digital products just there as a blank statement. And yeah, that rounds out everything. If I did the math, I believe this was like 13 different categories and a total of 36 sources of income. That means, yeah, 36 things from what I talked about here, if my math is totally correct, that actually pay you money. If you're gonna count Google, AdSense as just one thing itself, and then you could take away 10, right? You could take away 10. Same thing with Patreon. If you count this like, just all Patreon, then you take away 3. That's how you can do subtraction. But however, you think of these like each of them are like a separate business with a separate entity, then you really do start to get to up to 36 sources of income, right? Because it's 10 YouTube channels monetized, right? Even though they go to all one or 2 Google AdSense accounts, or maybe even 3, there's still 10 different YouTube channels earning revenue, right? Then you got TikTok, 3 different TikToks, 2 different TikTok shops, 2 different Instagrams with sponsored posts, 1 Twitch channel bringing in 4 different types of revenue. But that's literally, Twitch discounts that all as 1, right? Then you got 3 different Patreons, sponsorships, that's blanket, affiliate, that's blanket, merchandise for Short Magica physical, that's blanket, merchandise for card games and physical, that's blanket, digital products for productivity and templates, that's a blanket one, podcasts, music, Amazon books, Amazon Unlimited, Audible, those are all different as well. Stocks, crypto, real estate, licensing, and dividends, right? And I'm pretty sure there's other things I probably missed, but this is really expansive. And as I said in the very beginning of this 40-minute video, like, it all sounds ridiculous, right? So at the end of the year, I'm going to come back to this video because I uploaded this video on January 7th, right, of 2025. we're gonna see what this video looks like next year on January 1st, 2026, and just how much I was able to achieve from this point on, after I made this 40-minute long video. So I'm excited to see exactly what I do for myself, whether I succeed or fail. I'm in it for the long haul. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another video. If you sat through this entire thing, you might as well hit that subscribe button, because you must have been that interested to figure out exactly how crazy your boy is. But that remains to be seen on all these goals that we have to accomplish financially wise. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I already know. Doses.